Hello students, good morning to you. Today we will continue our chapter 9 which we will revising and the chapter is strategies for enhancement of food production. As I have told you in my last class that why we need to increase our food demand. As we know, India is a highly populated country, so it needs its food requirement is also so high. In the previous class, I have told you about the animal husbandry and rearing of animals to fulfill the food demand. Along with animals, here also we depend on plants. Means maximum we depend on plants for our food. That's why here we want to know about plant breeding programs. So students, what is plant breeding? Plant breeding means when two desirable characters are combined in a single seed to get a desirable plant, that is called plant breeding program. In this topic, we will study about that breeding for high yield, for disease resistance, for pest resistance and for nutritional improved quality, means for improving the nutritional quality. So students, first we will study about breeding for high yield. But before it, I want to again tell you about something, plant breeding program. Plant breeding program is included under Green Revolution. Clear? As we know, after independence, we are struggle for food, means to fulfill our food demand of our the population of our country. That's why from 1960s, 1960s plant breeding programs are done. Means here different techniques are used in agriculture to fulfill the food demand from a less land. Means as we know that due to increasing population, the cultivating land is get decreased. That's why some techniques are used to produce or to cultivate crops in a small land, and that land never we get bare, means continuous crop production can be occur in a single land. Like for example, if we depend on the natural factors for cultivating crop, then we can only able to produce one or two type of crops in a year. But through plant breeding programs, we can cultivate 4 times, means a single land can give us 4 times cultivated capacity. And again, due to plant breeding programs, we are able to create some very desirable characters, including your disease resistance capacity, in improving the nutritional quality, the protein quality, pest resistance and resistant to abiotic stresses. These are included in plant breeding program. As I have told you, breeding for high yield. High yield means producing more and more. Suppose if we sow 1 kg of wheat in the crop field, then next year we can or after the season we can able to get suppose 20 kilos of wheat. But through plant breeding program, here we can able to get 50 kilos of wheat. This is what is I am telling you, that plant breeding. So it's important is first we will study about breeding for high yield. So students, let's understand it in detail. For high yielding, we need to follow some steps. Like what are the steps? As we are revising, you already know about the steps. The first step is collection of variability. First step is collection of variability. Means here we should collect the seeds or the plants having variant characters and desirable characters. After collecting these characters from different parts of the India or from the world, we are able to hybrid them. Means after self cross we can get the character. So here collection of variability. Suppose for example, we know wheat is rich in carbohydrate, but here we should want for or we should search for the wheat that contain iron, potassium, phosphorus, etc. Suppose for example, pulses or your which is called dal. Dal has protein content, high protein content, but here the variability is searched for increasing more protein content. Clear students? So this topic is collection of variability, means here genetic variation, having genetic variation. The seeds are collected having genetic variation, means genetic variability. Seeds are selected from different parts. Clear students? So this is our first step of plant breeding for high yield, that is collection of variability. And the next step is evaluation and selection of parents. Evaluation and selection of parents. Suppose for example the wheat contains carbohydrate and another wheat has high potassium content, as I have told you. So here these two different type of wheats are combined. So that's why evaluation and selection. We have to select the parents, means which nutritional content we want. Or suppose for example some disease causing factors are found in one wheat and another wheat is no disease causing factors. That's why we can choose that parent which lacks the disease causing factor and have high nutrient quality. So this topic tells us about we should select the parent or the superior parent having desirable characters, and then we evaluate their value, how much they beneficial for us and how much they able to produce the product. And the third step is our next step, that is cross hybridization among the selected parents. Cross hybridization among the selected parents. It means in the second step we select the parents having superior quality or desirable quality, and in third step we should cross the hybridization or cross hybridization among the selected parents, means two different parents are crossed with each other and the progeny will contain the genetic character of both the parents. Here we are studying about plant breeding. So different type of seeds are cross hybridized and the characters are found or transferred to their progeny. Again that progeny, in our fourth step, that progeny will be used. How it will be used? Selection and testing of superior recombinant. Fourth step is selection. Our fourth step is selection of superior recombinants. Means after formation of the progeny, means in the third step after cross hybridization the progeny we get, means the seed we get either having the desirable characters of parent or left something. That's why we should select the superior recombinant, means we should have to choose those seeds in which both the parental characters are combined. That's why it is called selection of superior recombinant. After getting that recombinant, we should try to produce or create its homozygous offsprings or homozygosity. As we know, if we continue continuously doing hybridization processes, then it will be expensive. That's why after forming the progeny or formation of the progeny, we have to try that the superior recombinant should be selected, and after the selection of superior recombinant, it is again taken for testing and releasing for commercial of new cultivars. Means here we choose the superior recombinant. Then next step is for testing. How the testing of seeds occur? Testing. Here during testing we can say that the seed produced or the recombinants produced here, superior recombinants are produced here, grown in different mediums, providing different fertilizers in different amount, then amount of water, or we can say as irrigation, then whether it is need pesticides or etc. Then it can be used in different soil types, then released to different parts of India, and under different soil forms they are able to grow and produce crops. So these are the steps which are very important in a plant breeding program. Means without these steps we can't produce more and more foods for requiring or for fulfilling the food need of our increasing population. Clear? Next step is our we can say that how this green revolution helps us to create these hybridized or recombinant varieties. As we know, or in my earlier lecture I have told you that 33% of total GDP of our country, means about 66% of people of India depend on cultivation. So they are trying to cultivate those crops which are needed by the people maximum. Suppose for example wheat, rice, maize and jowar. They are need to be produced in more amount as our main food or prime food is carbohydrate. Clear? So here green revolution increases to produce these crops. Green revolution means increasing productivity in the cultivation field or in the crop field. That's why here we can say that the crops which needed to be produced in a large amount are wheat, rice, maize, jowar, millets, etc. So how they are grown and what are different varieties we can see. So students, next topic is that we can see here by taking some examples, rice and wheat. On green revolution I have told you. Here I am giving you some examples which crops are produced after hybridization. First we will study about wheat and rice. Wheat and rice. As we know, wheat and rice are the major cereals or major crops of India. In some part of India means in the north and west part of India, wheat is used maximum, and in east part of India rice is used maximum depending on their rainfall and the quality of the soil. So how green revolution increases to produce more and more wheat and rice. Clear students? So during the period 1960 to 2000, the steps or the efforts using for creating rice varieties and wheat varieties are increased. Means we can say wheat is increased from 11 million to 75 million tons. You can compare before 1960s the wheat production is only 11 million, but between this period 1960 to 2000, as I have told you, green revolution was started in 1960. So between this time period the production of wheat is increased up to 75 million, whereas the production of rice is from 35 million to 89.5 million. So we can see here how due to green revolution the amount of or the production of crop is increased, whether it is wheat or rice. So students, here I want to give you an example that Norman E. Borlaug International Center for Wheat and Maize has produced, that is in Mexico, produced different varieties. Suppose for example Sonalika and Kalyan Sona. Sonalika and Kalyan Sona are two semi-dwarf varieties of wheat. Two semi-dwarf varieties of wheat. So here we are studying about how green revolution increases help in increasing the productivity of wheat and rice. So here the example I have given you that Sonalika and Kalyan Sona are examples of semi-dwarf wheat. Means it has high yielding and disease resistance capacity. Means through plant breeding programs these two varieties are made, means they are hybridized and having the desirable character that they can be resistant to disease and high yielding capacity. Like a wheat, also in case of rice, IR8 or we can say a Jaya and Ratna, two semi-dwarf varieties of rice, Jaya and Ratna, semi-dwarf rice variety, semi-dwarf rice variety. These two varieties also have the same quality like in case of Sonalika and Kalyan Sona, which is your wheat variety. So where does they are produced and how they are produced? We can say that IR8 and one is your Taichung. You have ever heard about Taichung? I heard in my village that Taichung is a variety of rice which is produced in Taiwan. Taiwan, you know, Taiwan is a country that is occupied by China. So Taiwan, in Taiwan, Taichung variety of rice is produced. That is called Taichung. Clear, students? Next is our sugarcane. How green revolution help us producing or increasing the variety of sugarcane. Here sugarcane. Sugarcane is a very important crop in India and many people depend on the production of sugarcane. How here we can able to increase the sugarcane variety. The sugarcane varieties are of two types which are grown in India. One is Saccharum barberi and one is Saccharum officinarum. Clear, students? One is Saccharum barberi and another is Saccharum officinarum. So these two varieties are, these varieties grown in North India belt, North Indian belt, North India, and this grow in South India. South India. But this variety, Saccharum barberi, has low sugar content and thin stem. Means its stem is not so thick and it has low sugar content. But Saccharum officinarum, which grown in South Indian belt, it has high sugar content and thick stem. Clear, student? So through hybridization process or through plant breeding program, what happen? They are combined and made a new desirable variety of sugarcane, which has the ability to grow both in North India and South India, means any part of the India. So we can say alone Saccharum barberi, which grow in North India, Saccharum officinarum, which is grown in South India. It has low sugar content, it has high sugar content. If the South Indian variety is grown in North India, then it will not grow properly. But when the both, means Saccharum barberi and Saccharum officinarum, are combined together to form a new hybrid variety, that is that can be grown in both the belt of India, means in North India as well as in South India, which have thick stem and high sugar content. Next example we can take that how in the field of millets, green revolution also help us to produce different type of crops. We can say as hybrid maize, jowar and bajra. Hybrid maize, jowar and bajra are created, due to which we are able to get more and more varieties having high yielding capacity with less or with more disease resistance capacity. Clear, students? So this is all about your topic. In our next topic we will study about plant breeding for disease resistance.